Babylon, I see you, boy.
Gods and goddesses, we are on our 23rd saga of Intimate with TomBoi. And today we're going to talk about why when you're dating someone, they should have friends. It's a throwback song that goes, friends, how many of us have them? Friends, ones we can depend on. Yeah, a lot of people from their Gen X and all that, they know what I'm talking about. That's a throwback song. That's definitely for their generation. A few of the millennials, y'all know that one. You know, y'all might have had your older siblings or something playing that, or your moms or something playing that. Gen Z, some of y'all might, depending on, how your parents are, what they play around you, whatever. So let's go ahead and let's just jump into the subject. So now, why should your significant other have friends? Well, this is why. Now, ultimately, your spouse or your significant other is supposed to be your best friend. You know, you confide in them with a lot of things that you don't confide in with other people. But before you got with that spouse or before you got with that significant other, you should have had friends present before them. And the reason I'm breaking this up is because, I run into a lot of ladies that say I don't have any friends, or I don't have any girlfriends. Now, if you don't have any girlfriends, that's okay too, because sometimes you might just get along better with the opposite sex. I get that, But to not have any friends can definitely be a problem when you are approaching or you are getting into a relationship with someone that does have friends. And I can understand why a lot of times people don't have friends, because there's a lot of crooked ass people in the world. There's a lot of dirty motherfuckers in the world that only care about themselves. They don't give a fuck about nobody. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times it's hard to trust somebody to be an actual friend, to be someone you can depend on, to be someone that you can call family, not just a friend, to be someone that you can confide in, to be someone you can go to talk outside of your partner for advice. Maybe that you want to ask on, did you approach something wrong with your partner? Or what do you think about this? Or just somebody to vent to that's sometimes not your partner. And I get it. A lot of times it's hard because people are untrustworthy and they ain't shit. So now let's get to the bottom of this. How do you know if you have a good friend? Of course, y'all know I like to use me as an example. So an example I'll give you of having a good friend. I have a real dear close friend of mine back from my hometown. And she's a plus size model. She's a flight attendant. Just beautiful queen. And she confided in me, and she confided in this other lady she thought was a model friend, and she both told both of us something that she didn't tell other people. But she said things differently to both of us so she could tell who said what. And the other person was talking to other people about her business, and it got back to her, right? And so basically, she comes and she talks to me and she says, TomBoi, you know what? I thank you for being a friend, because you have always just, been there for me. Not only have you given advice and speaking life into me, you don't tell people my business. And that's what I love about you. I hadn't heard anybody come back and tell me something that I told you and confided in you with. And for that, I respect you and I love you for that because you are really, truly a friend. Now, I mention this story because sometimes people do fall out with one another. And even if you fall out with somebody, you should be mature enough to say, you know what? I was their friend once upon a time ago, and whatever they said to me, that's with me and them. It's nobody else's business. But you got a lot of people that are scandalous out here. They ain't shit, and they'll tell your fucking business. And sometimes they'll still be trying to act like they're your friend, and they tell your fucking business because they ain't shit. So I understand why people don't have friends, but you should be able to be a friend to somebody and somebody feel that they can trust you with their precious information. But let's hop into the subject of the matter. I said, why should your significant other have friends? Right? Now, this is very key right here. Ultimately, like I said, your significant other should be your best friend, of course. But you have friends outside of them to get advice on a situation. Sometimes, you might have an altercation with, your significant other. And, you try to talk to your significant other about it, or, the conversation didn't go well. So you go to a friend, you confide in a friend, and you say, well, this is what happened, wrong. Do you think I should approach this a different way or whatever? You tell them the story, right? So they can kind of give you advice on what to do. And so this is why you have friends, because they're there to just, vent to, or like I said, give you advice on the situation, be the person on the outside looking in, to tell you where you were wrong, or tell you where you might have did something wrong or might have been able to change, the situation had you did something differently. You feel me? So I was talking to this lady, right? And basically we got into some altercations. It was like really petty or whatever. I didn't understand why we got into altercation, right? So I'm talking to one of my friends, and she's asking me, so how was, y'all day out and all this? And I said, let me talk to you. So I go and I'm trying to talk to her about the situation. As I'm trying to talk to her about the situation, the significant other that I'm dating, she's trying to eavesdrop on the conversation, right? And so basically she goes and says, oh, you be talking shit about me to your friends and you're twisting my words and yada yada yada. And it's nothing like that. Now you see, this is what problem right here. First of all, shouldn't have been eavesdropping on my conversation. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? You just like, you don't want me to eavesdrop on your shit. We still are individuals, even if we're dating. We have personal lives. See, now the significant other, she didn't have any friends. You feel me? And the thing about it was, we had talked about the situation or whatever, but I was explaining to a friend what happened with the situation. And the friend was probably trying to give me advice on, well, y'all just had a misunderstanding. That's literally what it was. And the friend was like, just approach this another way next time. Friend is trying to give me advice about the situation. But for her, she took it a whole nother way. And so what happened was, every time she felt like, we got into it, and she was like, oh, well, I don't want to be controlling you, or I don't want, to, you be talking shit and twisting my words to your friends and all this about what me or whatever. And the thing about it was, she didn't eavesdrop enough to hear what I was saying, right? But the thing about it, this is the point. Why were you eavesdropping in the first place? You feel me? You don't know what I was talking about. And then when I would ask her, I say, well, what did I say? She could never say, well, you know what you don't know. What did I say? See, when you don't have friends, you always think the world is against you, even the one that you are laying down with. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody knows people go to their friends for advice if they're having issues with the significant other and they're trying to figure out why did we this blow out of proportion, or why did this get there. And the friend is there to tell you where you did wrong and where the mistake was. That's all they're there for, where you did wrong and where the mistake was. Sometimes they're there to tell you if you overreacted or if you didn't overact. And so your friends are not there to tell you to break up with your significant other. They're just telling you like, hey, this is where the approach was wrong. Maybe you should have did this that time. And this comes down to why you cannot date insecure or jealous people. Because they always feel like somebody is talking about them. And if they don't have friends, it makes it worse. Because they will even think the one they are laying next to is against them. So, I'm not going to drag this out. All I'm going to say is this. Don't date people that don't have friends. Now, I'm not saying people that don't have friends are bad people, but there's a reason that they don't have friends. And in this situation, with this lady that I was talking to, she didn't have friends because she wasn't stable, mentally stable, to the point to where she was making up things in her mind and saying I was saying things that I wasn't, and accusing me, and it just made her more bitter and more angry and more just rah rah at me, when all I'm trying to do is get advice on how to approach a situation better, or to see where I went wrong, or to see where we can come to an agreement. So then if I sit down and have a conversation with her, I can approach it the right way. But she wasn't mentally stable enough to understand that. And that's because she didn't have friends, but I did have friends. Now some people may agree with me and some people may not agree with me. But as far as I'm concerned, I would never date anybody that doesn't have friends, because I would want to avoid dumb situations because they don't have anybody outside of us that they can confide in for advice. And that's a problem for me, because when I want to talk about my friends and say, oh, so and so's coming through, it's hard because they don't have that. And I can give them jealousy and envy because they don't have that. And to me, I feel like this. I feel like someone should not be jealous of me having friends. Because for me, look, my parents aren't living. Either my grandparents are living. So for me, my friends are my family. For me, my friends give me advice. For me, my friends do for me like family. When I need something, I'll always have my friends there, no matter what. Whether it be for financial reasons, whether it be for advice or whatever. So for me, my friends are dear to me. And so if I'm dating someone and they don't have friends, but they have everything else that I don't have, but yet they still have a problem with me, it's too much envy, it's too much jealousy. And envy and jealousy causes hatred, and ultimately sometimes it could be something where it could get physical, or it could go the other route. So for me, I'm staying away from somebody that does not have friends. This was fun. We made it to the 23rd Saga. Yay. And of course, it is Sunday and my team is playing. Green Bay is playing the Minnesota Vikings. Go Pack, go. We gonna stuff them Vikings with some cheese and get them the hell up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. Y'all enjoy y'all week. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday. I want y'all to live in love, light, abundance, peace, and prosperity. Gods and goddesses, I want y'all to love one another. All right? We got enough hatred out here. We need more love out here. Now, that don't mean be soft now. Sometimes you got to handle a motherfucker, and I get that. And you got to put them in their place. But I want us to have love for one another. And I want us to get our mental. And if your mental is off, look, I want y'all to visit a couple friends of mine. All right? If you are in the Milwaukee or the Illinois area, Wisconsin, Illinois, all right, I want y'all to go talk to my dear friend, Jasmine Webster, okay? Jasmine Webster, Aspiring Minds. She's trying to get your mind right, all right? And if you are in the Los Angeles area, you don't even have to be there. You can go hit her up on TikTok and, find out how you can get in and get an appointment to sit down with the Love Coach Jess. Jess, the Love Coach. All right, I want y'all to go talk to that queen as well. All right, so I want y'all to get y'all mental right. All right, and I want y'all to have a great week. I want y'all to love one another. All right, so let's do this again. All right, next week, y'all be safe. Love, light, peace, abundance, prosperity, gods and goddesses.
Hey, so I did that time, and I see your point.
Let's make it heaven around here, and let's celebrate.